Hey everybody, welcome back. I just watched 3 more episodes of Andor, so you don't have to. I watched episodes 4, 5, and 6. Here is the challenge I'm giving myself. Can I do this review in under 10 minutes? And can I entertain you in that 10 minutes? There is a lesbian kiss in episode 6, so I think I'm going to roll with that. All right, so episode 4 is called Ever Been to Gorman? Bix keeps dreaming of being tortured by Dr. Gorst, and that's going to come full circle to the end of episode 6. Cyril is on Gorman, and his mom misses him. And Deidre is not around, so what's going on with Cyril? And he's being recruited by the French resistance. Bix and Andor go grocery shopping and eat hot peppers. Cyril then reports to Deidre, who's back on Coruscant. And he tells her that the French resistance is recruiting me. So, he's doing some spy stuff. All right, Cyril, doing something. All right. And then Partagast holds a meeting with all our bad guys, including Lonnie. Remember Lonnie? Lonnie talks to Luthen. All right, so he's like a double agent. Mon Milfma is going around talking to every senator she can, trying to get votes to go against the will of the Emperor. So good luck with that. But hey, Mon Milfma, she has my vote. All right, next up, Luthen meets with double agent Lonnie, and Lonnie shares what's going on with Gorman, and Luthen's all worried. What's going on in Gorman? Cyril attends the resistance meeting, the French resistance meeting, but Cyril can't speak Francais, so he has trouble, but he does meet the leader, this Rylands guy. And the guy that plays the Rylands guy, I was like, where's this guy from? And he's from The Strain. I really liked him in The Strain. That was a good show. Luthen sends Andor to Gorman to figure out what's going on. And so Andor is actually going to do some James Bond stuff here. Then we go to a planet called Quar, okay, and Saw Gerrera, right? And he doesn't have his breathing mask, and he doesn't walk with a limp yet. And Wilmon, remember Wilmon? I barely did. Wilmon, it was sent there by Luthen to work on some device that involves a gas called Rido. And we'll get to the gas, but that's what's going on there. And Andor and Bix, before Andor leaves, they have passionate hand sex. And yeah, Bix gets high after he leaves. All right, episode 5 is called I Have Friends Everywhere. Skolden, remember Skolden? Skolden, his kid married Mon Milfma's daughter. Skolden learns that some of his art pieces are fake. Not the one that Luthen sold him. Luthen's on the up and up when it comes to the art stuff. But one of his pieces is fake. So he needs to scrutinize every piece and examine every piece. The problem is Luthen did put a bug on one of the pieces. So now Luthen's like, oh my God, he's going to discover I've been bugging him. They're going to trace it back to me. All right, so they got to fix that. And then Cyril, the Imperials come into his office and they find a bug in his office. Lots of bugs. And yeah, so that's probably the French resistance there bugging him. Luthen then visits Bix and tries to steal her vape pen. And Bix doesn't want to give it up. Andor arrives on Gorman, checks into a hotel. He's undercover as a fashion designer. So I don't know. It's a little fun. They probably could have done more with it. But yeah, and he talks to a bellhop about the Tarkin massacre that happened in the square. And now they want to put a big Imperial building that would cast a shadow on the monument in the square, that is there to memorialize those who gave their lives that day when bad Tarkin just killed them all. Cyril then returns to Deidre in Coruscant. She orders him to turn off the lights, and then they get frisky. All right, so episode 5 continues. Andor meets Enza, who is in the French resistance. And Andor is very critical of the French resistance. They're sloppy already. He's not getting a good feel about them. Cyril gives his mom a spider from Gorman. He's only allowed to meet with her for an hour, so he doesn't really appreciate that. Meanwhile, they're listening to Good Morning Coruscant, which I thought was kind of fun. It pokes fun at these the morning shows that we have here. Thought that was in good fun there. Andor meets with the leader, Rylance, and again, he's not impressed with Rylance. He thinks the French resistance is sloppy. Cyril and Deidre report to Partagast, and the ISB, they want the resistance to strike. They're going to go ahead and keep things as they are. They want the resistance to strike to give them an excuse to take further action. So they're watching and letting it happen. Wilmon is back with Saw Gerrera, and he's training a guy to do what he can do, but Saw tells the guy that, hey, once Wilmon teaches you, we don't need Wilmon, I'm going to kill Wilmon. But it actually turns out that the guy Wilmon was teaching was a spy, so Saw Gerrera kills him. So a little twist there, a little, oh, okay. So there you go. But Wilmon's got to go along for the ride here with Saw Gerrera. And, and then we get some, like, ship porn, just X-Wings going to hyperspace. There you go, just to pick the pace up here. And Andor leaves Rylance. He isn't impressed. He wants nothing to do with this French resistance. We see Saw Gerrera, what might have caused his breathing issue, because this Rido, this thing he's working on, releases this gas. And Saw Gerrera loves to breathe it in because when he was a child slave, he would breathe it in, and he's breathing it in, and Wilmon breathes it in, and then he starts choking and coughing, but I guess it's like he's so dedicated to the rebellion, he wants to breathe it in, and that's a sign of his commitment. So, yeah, Saw Gerrera getting high on his own supply. All right, episode 6 is called What a Festive Evening. These are words that will be spoken by director Krennic at Skolden's party. I'd like to see, that was cool seeing Krennic again. All right, so anyway, Andor tells Luthen, listen, you got to pass on this French resistance in Gorman. And Luthen says, no. I need them to do this. I want them to do this and go down in flames to spark the rebellion. So the ISB wants the French resistance to act. Luthen wants the French resistance to act. Interesting. I thought that's kind of neat. Andor does get mad at Luthen when he learns that Luthen tried to steal Bix's vape pen. Vel and Cinta arrive on Gorman. They have coffee. They express their feelings for each other because they are in a prior relationship. And they plan their attack with the French resistance. And their plan is basically, and this is when the show gets a little girl bossy, their plan is do exactly what you're told. And then they have lesbian kisses. So cut to the clip. All right, so the end of episode 6 is basically Skolden's party, and then this resistance attack, which is really just stealing cargo from a transport. All right, so these two things are going on, and the show's trying to build the tension. All right, and then we do get a look at the Senate briefly. So here's where I'll stop and tell you that everything in this show looks amazing. Every week it looks amazing. We see the Senate. We're going to get to Skolden's party. It's like in a theater that reminds me of the theater and Revenge of the Sith, but everything looks better than it's ever looked before. So amazing looking show, but slow as hell, and it's not for everyone. It's a little boring. All right, anyway, we get to Skolden's party, and Krennic is there, and Luthen is there, and Clea is with Lonnie is trying to take the bug off a statue, and she's trying to use Lonnie as a shield. Hey, Lonnie, you get over here as I'm trying to unscrew this, and it won't unscrew, and Krennic is getting closer and closer and closer, and it's getting so intense, and her hand's bleeding. She's trying to get the damn bug off so bad, and she's going to get the bug off, at the very end. All right, and then with the French resistance, Vel and Cinta, they're planning. They throw some mines, and the vehicle gets stalls, and they steal whatever the hell was on the transport. I don't think we ever know what's on the transport. But then there's this Nebby-Noser guy we saw earlier in the show, and he's approaching this kid. The kid draws the gun, says, "Hey, go away, go away. You don't want to stop. We're busy here." And then the guy comes, and then the kid shoots the gun, misses him, but kills Cinta. Cinta is killed. So they do steal the cargo. They're getting away, but then Vel, it just, I didn't like this scene at all. Vel is like chewing out this kid and saying, you know, it's on you. You remember this forever. He tells him, don't you dare cry. You know, she was everything you dreamed to be. Like, you know what I'm thinking? Vel, maybe you suck as a leader. You know, if you had a better plan, you know, you supervised a little bit better. No one's screwing up your plan. So I didn't like Vel there. Didn't like it at all. And so that's how the show ends. But the best part of all these 3 hours was the last 2 minutes when we watch Dr. Gorst, the torture guy. You know, he's back, okay. And he's walking into his office, and then behind him is Bix, and Bix puts him in the torture chair and then turns it on to maximum and fries his brain as she leaves and shoots a guard. And then she's walking. I thought, well, how the hell did Bix do this by herself? But no, Andor's there. So Andor walks into the shot, and they walk off together. And then Andor, like the Joker in the Dark Knight, hits a button and boom, you know, blows up behind him as they walk away, fade to black. So, yeah, the best part of this 3 hours, the 3 hours I watched last night, was probably the last 2 minutes. All right, Andor looks amazing. I like it. It's not for everyone. In fact, it's probably not for most people, but it does look incredible. I hear things start to pick up in the last 6 hours, so there you go. All right, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon, and I'll see you on the new. And should I go see the Thunderbolts tonight? I might pass. Hit it.